Hello everyone, welcome to another Joseki lesson. In this video, let's keep talking about the kick Joseki. We're actually not done, even after 3 videos. So once again, after Black's approach at number 5, number 6 right here is the kick. Black plays here at number 7, and White has 2 choices. So today let's talk about how Black can respond to White's number 8 here on the 3rd line. And in the next video, or 2, we'll talk about this move on the 4th line and how Black can respond to this. The basic response, of course, is playing here, this 3-space extension on the 4th line. So this is the basic shape that we introduced, either here on the 4th line or the 3rd line. Of course, the 4th line is preferred these days, but as beginners and amateurs, it's your choice. Today, let's talk about potential follow-ups to the corner if White plays here at number 8. So let's have White play elsewhere for a move. And now the question is, what can Black do to White's corner here? And the answer depends on who you are, largely. If you're a beginner or an amateur player, maybe there are 2 moves that you can play. But if you're a professional player, or if you're AI, there's only 1 move. And that is right here. So let's look at this first. A word on the pedagogy here. When I was making these other videos on Josekis, that involve some complicated patterns, some single-digit cube players are like, I've been playing this game for many years and I still never saw these variations before. And those videos are probably not for beginners. I think they're right. But I think it's important for beginners to at least know that these moves exist. So when they become cube players, dan players, when they see this Joseki in games, they know where to find the resources. Right? So if you're a beginner and you find these super complicated, makes your head hurt, just skip this for now, right? And then know when to come back, right? If you run into complications when playing the kick Joseki, you know where to find this video. So if you're ready, let's look at this number 11. The goal here is to keep White's low, right? It's not grabbing the corner entirely. It's trying to keep White low and solidifying 5 and 7. Because as we learned in the previous lesson, there is a weakness right here, right? So if Black gets to play here, Black definitely wants to get rid of these weaknesses. And after number 11, White only has 1 response, and that's right here. That's very important for beginners to know, right? Because if you're feeling really aggressive, you play something like this will be disastrous, right? Black can just come in, and this way number 8 is completely cut off. And this is not okay for White, right? The corner is fairly secure, right? You wouldn't want to play on the 2nd line right now, right? It's too slow. This way, this is not okay for White. So number 12 is eliminated. If you're a beginner, right, you might be feeling nervous and you play something like this. And this is a very soft move, right? Of course, Black can take Sente. This is already benefiting Black by a lot. And Black can follow this up with this move, right? Because number 12 is here. It's a very ugly shape. And number 8 right here is very soft because Black can just press here. There'll be a push and cut, so White must extend. And now what happens is that Black can push and cut, right? Nothing's happening immediately after this, right? Black can't capture White right away. But if White captures here, Black gets to push twice more. And White must respond. Otherwise, Black will be able to seal off this side. And this will be a very thick wall, right? Whereas White has only about 15 points here on the corner. So corner is relatively small and the wall is just too powerful. So this is not okay for White. So that's why White must play here number 26, and now Black can take Sente. The wall is still very, very good. So this is definitely not okay for White. If White connects here, and now what happens is that Black cannot really save number 21 because White can still capture here. But Black can just play on the outside. This is super solid, very good for Black's territory. And there's just no more weaknesses in Black's shape. And White must play here, finish off number 21. So this is also really, really great for Black. And that is why White should not play here at number 12. The only move is right here. And that's why it's really important to know what not to play. Because if you look at Joseki books, most of the patterns are about the correct sequences, but they do not explain why some moves are wrong. When beginners and amateurs tend to think about those moves, and sometimes even make those moves. So number 12 is the only move, and the next move for Black is the 3-3 point right here. And now what's happening is that Black is trying to get into the corner. white, of course, has a few choices. One is to stand down here, right? But this really depends on whether this ladder against number 11 works. Now it doesn't work because number 3 here on the lower right corner will eventually break this ladder. So this way, white will be in for a very tough fight because number 11 and 17 here really split white. White really doesn't have any eye space, right? 13 and 15 here kind of occupies some sort of eye space. So it'll be a very tough fight for white. So that's why number 14 in this situation doesn't work. If the ladder works, then black should not play number 11 in the first place. So that should be the prerequisite for playing this pattern is number 11 should not be captured in this ladder. So similarly, if white plays here, black can cut. And this is really harsh when number 11 cannot be captured on a ladder. So that's why white's best move is probably right here, number 14. This way, white is at least less afraid of this cutting point at number 11 and 17. Right? This way, white should be okay, should be secure. And black wouldn't want to play it this way. So black will just bend here and connect, eliminating any weaknesses on the side. White will want to finish off number 13, right? Otherwise, black can still take the corner this way. The corner territory is still sizable, and black will play on the outside. Now white needs to connect here, right? Otherwise, black can cut, Atari, and kill all these white stones. So white must connect here. And this is it. This is considered a Joseki. AI and professional players will tell you this is better for black, but I would say it's slightly better for black, right? It's totally playable for white. If you're white, you're taking the corner. Black has solidified its weaknesses here, and black has sente, so it's pretty good for black, but it's only slightly better. It's still definitely playable for white. So definitely something to remember. If you're a beginner or amateur, if your opponent plays a number 11 and 13, and you cannot capture number 11 in a ladder. If you can, you play here, this way. This is not okay for black if number 11 is dead, but if you cannot capture number 11, you should play right here. This is the move that prevents black from connecting back. If white plays something like this, then what happens is that number 15 will connect back, and black will take the corner. So white can only play something like this. It's okay to sacrifice number 16, because white gets to Atari at number 20, and now 5 and 7 are short on liberties. So number 22 can kind of press black down. So this will be a viable variation here. White gets the wall on the outside, but again, the corner territory, the side territory is sizable. So again, this is better for black, playable for white, but definitely better for black. So that is the viable sequence, is playing here at number 11 first, and then playing here at number 13. One common mistake beginners and amateurs make is to come in first. It's not that much of a mistake if your opponent doesn't know how best to respond, right? So it's all relative, right? So it could be a harsh move if your opponent doesn't know how to respond. So there's actually pretty good video out there on this channel, GoPro Yongwoo, and she introduces this invasion. So she gave 3 responses, A, B, and C. There's actually another move, and that's D, the bending move here at F2, which I'll show you, but it's very similar to C. So it's a good video to check out. And I'll just cover A and B mostly because C will be quite complicated. If you're curious, definitely go check out this video. And I'll talk about this bending move as well. So her point is that playing here is not great because black can just crawl here and look to this cut, right? This cut is still very harsh. If white cannot capture number 15 on the ladder, as in this situation, once again, number 3 will break the ladder. So the best white can do is probably this. But this way, black can just play this exchange. The corner is alive if black plays right here, right? So it's easy for black, and it'll be a ko if white plays, right? White can start the ko this way. Not the best way to start the ko, but also I think something like this. This will be a ko. The thing is, black can take sente, especially at the beginning of a game, because the corner, I mean, it was supposed to be white's, right? If white played the bend and connect here. So it's really a free chance for black to make a living shape on white's corner. So it's already benefiting black. And white can't really kill black cleanly, right? That's another thing. White will have to play through a ko. So those will be already a bad deal for white. And of course, this is worth covering. This is not suggested unless white is about to die, right? But here, white can always extend to the left side, and white is not afraid of being attacked. That's why number 12 is problematic because of number 13. So whites cannot play here. This way, black will take the corner. Again, the corner is really big if black takes it this way. So this is not okay. And this is also not good, right? White is concentrated here. Black has already come in, eliminated its own weakness here on the upper side, and the endgame move is right here. White cannot stand down this way. White is all killed. And white can only capture here. And black can play right here. And the corner territory is mostly gone. So this is not okay for white. Another move you might learn, I actually learned this. No one told me this is a bad move, but it's actually very bad for white, is to bend here, allowing black to cut, and play right here at number 16. Right, so now black can no longer extend. Black cannot extend because now white can connect, and number 13 needs to be connected. And this way, these 3 stones will be dead. So black can only capture here, but it's already great for black. And white must play another move here. And if you're a beginner, please note that black does not need to connect. Do not connect. It's only 2 stones. It's a capture 2, recapture 1 situation. So it's extremely small. It's an endgame move. So you do not connect here. You take Sente. Sente is extremely valuable because if you do a corner closer, that's worth at least 30, maybe 40 points. That's what you need to know as a beginner, right? So this way, black is super solid and white's territory is significantly reduced, right? So this is not acceptable for white unless, right, let's say there are black stones on the outside waiting to kill white like this, right? When black gets really scary, you can play this because this at least preserves white's eye space. But when white can extend to the left side, this is very bad for white. So that's why number 12 should not be played. In the video I recommended, this move right here is covered. So this is actually very similar to this. I think it's the development of AI. So that video was from 3 years ago. Maybe back then the AI programs are saying this one was good. But now I think the most advanced AI would suggest this move, which is like completely ignoring number 11. It's basically saying if you want to live, go ahead and live, right? So black can live this way, no problem, but white can come in to this shape, right? So black's weaknesses are completely exposed here, and black's corner is that big, right? It's not that big, and white is very solid on the outside. So this is considered good for white, but as some of you commented on some of these other Joseki videos, you can disagree, right? If you're a beginner or amateur player who really likes territory as black, you can say, hey, it's better to just take white's corner. I don't like white taking a 20-point corner. I'd rather have my own corner here and deal with white's potential on the outside. That's totally fine if that's how you prefer to play, right? But according to AI and professional players, this is better for white because white is pretty solid, all connected, and black's weaknesses here on the upper side are exposed. So that's what really number 12 is all about, right? Even if black plays here, white can still just connect, right? This way, it seems like black can live here, but white is very solid on the outside, and black is this new group that it needs to kind of save. So this way, it's definitely playable for white. And of course, a lot of the Josekis, if we get into the complicated variations, the only thing I can say is that you just have to fight it out yourself, right? I cannot possibly show all the possible variations and all the fights, but just know that this is definitely playable for white. I think the idea of standing down here is similar. It's just preventing black from connecting back and potentially exposing black's weaknesses here on the upper side. So black can live if it wants to, right? It'll be something like this. And white, of course, can play on the left side here. So this is actually pretty good for white. Although you're black, if you prefer taking your opponent's corner this way, you can also play it. Try it as an amateur player. So I think that's it for number 8 right here on the third line. So brief recap, black can play this move if this ladder doesn't work for white, right? If it works for white, then this move is much less powerful because white can play here, number 14, and just capture number 11 on a ladder. But if it doesn't work for white, black can play here and come into the 3-3 point. And the Joseki we saw is for white to play here, right? Preventing black from connecting via this mending move at number 15. But black can just play here, this way. Black has sente, white takes the corner. Black solidifies its own shape, and it's slightly better for black, but definitely playable for both sides. A move not to play, according to AI and professionals, is this 3-3 point without the exchange on the outside. But I think it's might be playable for beginners and amateurs if you know how to make a living shape, right? The bottom line is that you cannot get killed. If you get killed, then it's not going to be that fun. You do not get killed. If you like territory, fine. Just take territory this way. But white will get to capitalize on black's weaknesses here on the upper side. So this is also a viable variation for beginners and amateurs, not that viable according to AI and professionals. Just as a brief preview, we're still not done with the kick Joseki. We still have to discuss what happens after white plays here at number 8. Of course, black can play here now, but after white takes sente, can black do anything here on the corner? What about right here, here, or here? Still 3 moves that we need to explore in the next video or 2. So please stay tuned, and thank you for watching.